If you've been paying attention to the NBA this year, you've probably noticed guys like Ja Morant and Zion Williamson not living up to what people expected. Injuries, inconsistency, hype fading, whatever you want to call it. And when that happens, their cards don't just dip, they drop hard. Prices fall, demand disappears, and all of a sudden, nobody wants them. So the real question is, are these cards actually in trouble? Or is this just what happens before they come back? If you're new here, my name is Eric Michael. I've been buying and selling sports cards since 2015, and since 2020, I've helped thousands of people learn how to do the same. So in this video, I'm breaking down 6 basketball cards that have been tanking and whether there's any reasons to still believe in them. And if you want the full breakdown and list, I put together a free PDF in the description, so you can go there, save it, reference it later. Let's get into it. Number 6 is Khalil Ware, who's a player for the Miami Heat. He's been averaging 11 points per game, and his Silver Prism PSA 10 went from $200 to, when I'm speaking right now, it's at $70. And a big part of this, he's having an okay season, but the Miami Heat just are kind of meh this year. When you're on a losing team and you're not performing at your expectation, both compound and they drive your prices and demand down, which is part of the reason his value is less. That's number 6. Number 5, this is someone who I bought a lot of last year leading into the season, but sold it all, thank God, is Jared McCain. His Silver Prism PSA 10 has went from $170 in the beginning of the season all the way down to about $100 right now. For those of you guys that don't know, he was traded from the 76ers to OKC. On the 76ers, he was averaging 6.6 points per game. On OKC, he's doing a little bit better. He's averaging about 10 points per game, but he's a backup. This is someone who was drafted high. He was really good on Duke. People thought he was going to be pretty good after his rookie year. He did pretty well in the 76ers. It just did not pan out, and for that reason, his card value is down, and I would definitely not invest in him. I mean, there's no room for him to ever be a starter on OKC. Number 4, this is an interesting one. Amen Thompson of the Houston Rockets. His Silver Prism PSA 10 went from 330 all the way down to 180, and he's averaging 18 points per game. So you ask yourself, why is his value worth about half? Well, 2 reasons. Number 1, the reason his value shot up before the season is there was a lot of hype surrounding the Rockets, Kevin Durant, all that fun stuff, which drove his price higher than it actually should have been. And when he started actually playing what he's capable of, 18 points per game, and also the Rockets are kind of underperforming. They're a 5th or 6th seed right now. Brings it down. For those 2 reasons, it's down in value. Number 3, this is someone who I hold dear to my heart because he's made me a lot of money, is Zion Williamson. Another interesting case. He's actually kind of healthy this year. He's averaging 21 points per game, but the Pelicans, just there's really no hope for them. Another terrible season they're having, and also the Zion Williamson hype has kind of died down at this point. I remember when I first started buying his cards in 2019, in 2020, this guy was the next Michael Jordan. This dude, no one, you couldn't get enough of him. His Silver Prism PSA 10, I used to buy and sell them for in the range of $3,000 to $3,500, and now it's worth 10% of that. Crazy. Number 2, this is another guy just like Zion, had all the hype in the world, Ja Morant. Injured, tons of off-field issues. The Grizzlies are never really that great of a team. No real chance of ever them winning a championship. His Silver Prism PSA 10 went from $300 all the way down to $150. Definitely not somebody I'd invest in. And number 1, this is an interesting guy. Chicago Bulls, Matas Buzelis. Hopefully I said that correctly. His Silver Prism PSA 10 was driven by a lot of hype before the season, and it went all the way up to $550. And now it's worth about $200, and he's averaging 16 points per game, so he's not having a terrible year. He's having a decent year, but the hype before the season drove his price higher than his actual playing ability, and when he starts playing what he's capable of, once again, it just comes crashing down. Also, the Bulls are not that great of a team. They're probably not going to make the playoffs. For those two compounding effects, his hype being way too high, him kind of slightly underperforming than what people thought they would, and the Bulls being meh, drives the prices down. And any of these guys, I would not personally invest in at all. Usually what goes down stays down in sports cards, and usually what goes up does come down in sports cards. Very few guys just go up and up and up, and very few guys rebound after their hype has died. I could think on one hand how many guys have done that. Maybe guys like Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield a little bit. I can't even think of anybody in basketball that got revived a few years later. So I would not invest in any of them. This is not financial advice. This is just my personal opinion. Hopefully this video made sense to you. There's a free PDF down in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. All right. Sweet. Hopefully that provided you guys some value. And once again, I apologize for being late, but let's pop up that phone number below. And let's give it a nice color of blue. Bang. There we go. Can't get enough blue in this company, right? All right. Let's do it. You know, I was watching, this is just totally random, but I was watching the my Vietnam War documentary. I'm finishing it up from Ken Burns. For those of you guys that don't know who he is, great documentary filmmaker, just tremendous. I thought I knew everything there was to know about Woodstock, you know, the famous festival, the anti-war concert in 1969. There was one performance I never saw, Country Joe McDonald. Dude had a great performance at Vietnam. Not at Vietnam, at Woodstock. For those of you older guys, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. The song like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that. All right, let's get into this sucker. All right, first caller, Mr. Safe.
Good morning.
Mr. Safe.
How are you doing?
Doing better now that you called.
Oh, thank you so much. You look sharp. Everything is good over the weekend?
Yeah, had a good weekend. My built some stuff for the company using AI, which was fun. I
Cool.
built a I can't give it out here because it's proprietary to only people that pay us, but it's a buying calculator. So people could just input the gem rate, how much the card costs, expected fees, etc. It'll just bluntly tell them whether to buy it or not. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's cool. That. Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, people's gonna quit their jobs and go work for AI companies. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's gonna end up. Yeah. Always people say like, oh, well, you know what? You know, like AI is gonna take people's job. I was like, I mean, like, look at the. You remember those those people that light up the lanterns, you know, on the streets in the early 900s?
Yep.
I mean, those people lost their job overnight when the electricity came in, and those people were alive.
Yeah. People always freak out. It just elevates humanity a little bit more. Like, you know, there was a point in America where over 90% of workers were farmers, and we replaced almost all of them with machines, right? And then it just, well, now someone has to run these machines. Someone has to make these machines. So like AI is no different, right? Yes, it's going to replace people's jobs, but it's going to create a lot of new ones because AI, the way you have to operate it, you have to tell it what to do. It acts like an employee. It just runs 100 times faster. And because of that, now companies are going to be going a lot faster. And when they're going a lot faster, they need more employees to, you know, run all this AI stuff. So, yeah, it's just humanity advancing. That's all it is.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, it is good.
But how can I help?
So, question. I'm like, come on, what's going on with the Otani, man?
What about Otani?
What's going on? Like a month ago, we were discussing that. Well, it's too high. We're not gonna buy him. And you know, 30 days later, 30% more. Now, like, what's going on? Like, is it like? And now and now people are coming up with like new, like kind of like weird cards of him throughout the years and hyping it up, and that card's going. Like, for example, that all aces.
Yep.
Or like now there's like another card from like it's not even licensed. It's like Dunruss that looks like, I think it looks like a Gaudi, but it's like a Panini product, but kind of like the picture looks like a Gaudi picture. And now that one is going for like $300, and it's a paper card. So I mean, like Do you think that's going to continue?
No. Yeah, it'll continue like random, but it'll eventually settle out, and people are just taking advantage of. So, like, what happens is Otani is very hot. People get into sports cards just because of Otani, and they're like, "Oh my god, which Otani card should I buy?" Because they don't know what a Bowman Chrome is. They don't know what any of this stuff is, and they'll just hype up random cards of him and make a lot of money. And the reason just random cards pop up like this is because there's a lot of new people coming into the market that don't know what they're doing. Quite frankly, no offense to anybody listening to this. And that's why you see stuff like this, because people get into cards just for Otani. And because that all aces card looks cool, they're like, oh, this must be a good card. And people start to buy it. It has a compounding effect. It builds momentum, etc. So that's all. That's all. It'll settle. It'll settle out. This has happened before with like Mahomes and Josh Allen and Brady and all guys like that.
Cool, cool. Well, it's glad that kind of like we talk about it, because like I feel like if this continues, then everything PSA 9 for Otani is gonna be fire, because
No,
people's gonna be priced out of the PSA 10s, and they're gonna be looking for a PSA 9, because like that's gonna kind of like follow, just like how, for example, all the iconic cards. I mean, they sell even at a PSA 3, 4, even in the 80s. Like even
yeah. The difference is there's a lot of PSA 10 Otanis, and people that are looking to buy Otani, they're not really being priced out of the 10s because the people who are buying the Otanis have made a lot of money already on the Otanis. PSA 9s with modern cards just will, in my opinion, will never get a huge demand because it's not the gem rate on these cards are 30, 40, 50%. There's a lot of 10s. That's just my take on it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just I know that I know that we are all trying to predict the future, so chances of us being right is minimal. But I mean, I appreciate the person with the experience to give me their
Yeah,
intuition.
I'm pretty pessimistic when it comes to like investing in like modern players. I mean, you hear me say it all the time. Just most of them don't pan out. Even Otani, I bet my money his value is worth less in a year. Sounds crazy,
So
but
I'm
yeah.
going to leave you with something, and I hope that you can answer that. What is your aesthetically favorite card, and what is that's actually recognizable, and what is your least favorite card aesthetically that's actually kind of like recognizable? Not like
Can,
I just wanted to know that.
can I use vintage?
Or anything, but recognizable. Like a card that people generally know.
Yeah, my aesthetically, my favorite card is the 1932 Caramel Babe Ruth. I don't know if you know that one, but it's not the 33 Gaudy. It's the
Yeah, I
32
know the 33
Caramel.
Gaudi, 32. I'll look it up.
Yeah,
Caramel, you said.
it's
Okay.
like red
Okay.
with him kind of smirking. It's a big face. And the ugliest card, I'd say, no man, there's a lot of ugly ones. That's a tough decision. I probably hate. Ooh, what do I hate? Oh man, what card do you hate? That where it looks like
80 Larry Bird.
80 Larry Bird. That's an ugly one. Yeah, wow, that's an ugly one.
I mean, 81 beat the heck out of it. I mean, too bad they were not, the other way around.
Yeah, you know what card I think is ugly? Pippin's rookie, Scottie Pippen's rookie. I think that's an ugly card.
Is that the one he's jumping after
I
like
think,
a?
yeah, I think so. I think that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's kind of like jumping after a loose ball or something.
yeah. That's an ugly one. Oh, there's so many I can't think of them. But yeah, that's one. That's one I don't
No,
like.
I know it's just a fun thing. Anyway, I'll let you go to the line.
All right,
Thank you
thanks.
so much. I
All right,
appreciate your thoughts.
all right, safe. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
5, 6, 7, 8. Da-na-na-na-na. Something Vietnam. You older guys know what I'm talking about.
Eric,
Antonio,
what's poppin'?
what's up, man? How was your weekend?
Man, it was good. Easter Sundays. We celebrated or not, either way, it was a holiday weekend.
This is true. This is
And we
true.
watched I grew up by Tucson, so, I put my winnings from the last week on the U of A, and, man, they just got dog walked up and down that court.
Yeah, I didn't bet that game. I did take Michigan. Just I don't watch too much NCAA basketball, but I know usually these games get ugly because the defense is so good, and Michigan is gigantic. They're all like 6'8", 6'10", 7 foot, and my theory was bigger team will win, and they did. Thank God.
They bodied him so hard.
Yeah, yes they did.
I just want to know if this was true or not. I know you posted like those top 5 cards that lost money on. Were those your cards that happened to you?
Top 5 cards. No, I think I was the top 5 cards I lost money on. I think I lost 30,000 on one card.
Yes.
Copy. I had a top
There's
5.
you posted there's like a Justin Herbert or another one, and I was just saying,
No, hell no! Thank God, I wouldn't be here today if that was me. No, those are just the top 5 cards anyone's lost money on. In general, no, I'm not dumb enough to buy a Herbert for 1.8 million.
I was like, hey man, how did you bounce back? I was like, damn.
No. Yeah, that's just in general. There's probably cards where people lost more. Those are the top 5 I could think of. I think the worst one is, the Herbert. That was like height pandemic when that one sold. It's his best card that did 1.8 mil. But I even sold the card I made the most amount of money on ever in my life was 40 grand. It was a Herbert out of 99 Treasures auto on 9.5. I paid 70K and flipped it the next day for 110,000 at the Atlantic City National Card Show in 2022. And that card today is like 30K, maybe 40K. So yeah, there were some terrible buys. The Trey Lance, oh man, that one's bad. Wander Franco for 200 grand. Now it's probably like $1,000.
I was gonna say, I was just thinking, I was like, man, I'm definitely listening to this guy. If he hit that hard at rock bottom and clawed his way back, I was like, I know eventually lose, but I was like,
yeah, no, I've had there. I think I posted another reel of the card. The card I lost the most amount of money on was a LeBron refractor. I bought it peak pandemic. I tried regrading, and I knew I was buying it high, but I thought it would get a 10, and it didn't. It took forever to get back, and I ended up losing 30 grand.
Oh man, that's still dang.
Yeah, but it's like give and take, right? Because
learning.
Think about this. So I had all these cards at grading. So the pandemic, were you in cards during the pandemic?
No. I was into buying and selling too. Also, everything just skyrocketed in the marketplace.
Yeah. So to give you an example, I didn't when the pandemic started, I didn't know cards would explode like they did and hit Bitcoin and all that stuff. So, for example, there was a card I bought. It was this is the card I've made the highest ROI percentage on ever. It was a 2018 Prism Sensational Signatures Auto out of 5, Trae Young. Okay, auto. I bought it as a BGS 9. It had 3 9.5s and 1 8.5 surface. The surface was an 8.5. This was the first card I've ever sent a PSA in my life because I used to send all my cards to Beckett. That was the place to send cards. But Beckett started to take along. So I bought it, I want to say, maybe maybe April or May of 2020. And I sent it to PSA, and PSA, I didn't know, but PSA just started to take forever to get cards back. So I sent it in thinking it would take 2 weeks. It didn't come back to me until I think September or October of the same year. But in that time frame, the pandemic exploded cards, specifically Trae Young, and I paid $2,050 for the card. This transaction might be on eBay still, and I ended up trading it, cash/trade for $24,000, and with I traded it for fire shit, like Aaron Judge Bowman Chrome, Mike Trout Bowman Chrome. That's the card I 11 times my money on. That's the one I made the most percentage on.
How does your dopamine receptors just taking a huge spike? Just the wins. God damn.
Yeah, but what was crazy is that was normal. I had all these cards at grading that were just going up for literally no reason at all. And so it's like I said, it's give and take. It's I'm trying to find this card on eBay now. I don't know if I could.
So I'll probably piggyback into my question that I had going on. So right now, I don't know if it's because the window is shifted a little bit, but I should have bought more during January, February. But capital is tied up. But now, kind of in a weird spot with football season, where a lot of numbers are kind of hard to make sense right now because they're barely getting at that. And if you buy, there's barely any at $50 or $100, but if there's one for like 150, grading is maybe 30. I don't know if the other numbers haven't caught up yet as the PSA 10 sales, but they're still older PSA 10 sales. So right now, their new numbers raw aren't making sense with the PSA 10 numbers now. If that kind of makes sense of what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's okay. Just do the math.
That's why
So
you
like,
said that's why you said you're buying the guys who are going to go up, because when it comes back is when the hype and the price should go up, right? Is that what you're?
yeah, and also like, there's always more raw sales than PSA 10 sales, so there just might not be any PSA 10 sales yet. But like, for example, if there was a raw card that was doing $100 and the PSA 10 was doing $250, and now the raws jump 30%, you can expect the PSA 10 to jump at least 30%, if not more. So,
Okay.
yeah, obviously there's no guarantees, but like, you could make that safe assumption.
Okay, that's what I was getting at, because I was trying to look and I was like, man, maybe just the PSA 10 sales haven't caught up yet, because, a lot of them still are coming back from grading, of course, and, we haven't hit that peak season of buying. Baseball just started. Everybody's diving in on that, so I was just making sure. I was like trying to do the math on the stock market chart of market movers, and I was like, okay, well, here's where it was at. Now it's up, like you said, so should that be the time to go up? So I kind of held off on all the buying, so I ran it by you, of course, first, just to make sure my assumption was right.
Yeah.
On safe cards, though, like good purchases, like you said, like solid players and everything.
Yeah, I hope you bought. I hope everyone listening to this, including you, like I was talking about Jaden Daniels a lot. I'm looking at his value. This is insane. It's up like 50%. Like it makes me feel so smart looking at this now. Like, but yeah,
it did, man. I ended up selling that gold numbers card just on the fact that I was able to put that pitch together to somebody, and I showed him the market, and I was like, hey, man, like, this is where it was at. This is where he's at now. So this card is kind of valued at that point. And it was a really good explanation thanks to listening to you and how to use those tools. And I was able to make the sale, and the buyer felt comfortable. I felt comfortable, and it transacted at 900. So I was happy with that.
Yeah, bro. Business is all about just having an information advantage. That's all business is, and knowing who's going to go up and who's not, and what stuff's worth. Like that's all making money is. It's just having more information than the average person, and hopefully you do listening to this podcast.
I do, man. Well, let's get back to it, man. I appreciate it. Hey, keep getting those pull-ups, man.
All right, Antonio. Thanks, man.
Later.
Yeah, wow. I just looked at his value. That makes me feel smart. I bought a Jaden Daniels 2024 Topps Chrome Blue out of 150 PSA 10. I paid $800, and the last sale at PSA 9 did $465. That's crazy. Excuse me, a BGS 8.5. Oh my god. Yeah, so wow, I might double my money on that one card. That's pretty sick. Kavi, did you bring the gold Wemby to the office? You did? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna sell this sucker. Don't damage it. Don't damage it. Someone might call in cursing at us. Yeah, I brought this to the office. This gold Wemby I graded. I gotta sell this now. Like the market is like, I was looking, and I was looking at this sucker. Silver Prism, Victor, PSA 10. Hey, look at this. Is insane. I gotta sell this before he loses in the playoffs. Look at this, dude. I wonder if there's any. The card I have in my hand right now is a 2023 Select Gold Tectonic Victor. Are there any sales? It's the same card. No, that's not the same card. Different card. That's last year anyways. Still no sales of this stinking card. This is his courtside, so this is worth more. Let's see. I found a sale. This is the card that I have in my hand. Where are you? There is a sale. I saw it one time. Aha, here you are. So this card, I paid $4,200 raw, I think it was, or $4,000. I forget. $4,200 or $4,000. Paid a few $100s to get it graded. I got a 10, and if it was 8K, like what is this? In August 3rd of 2024, And let's see how much his value is up since then, since August of 24. So his value is like 2 to 2.5x, it looks like. So hopefully this card sells for like 15, 16, 18K. That'd be pretty sick because I paid 4K. So that would be nice. Luxury of going to card shows. You're able to find deals like this. The guy's nephew pulled it, and we're going back and forth. I've been on a roll with cards lately. I've been like just crushing it, except for the few JJ McCarthy's I bought. I'm gonna lose a little bit of money there. It's okay, right? I don't think anyone's answering. I see someone said, "What's with the bad reviews in the program?" So I was actually, it's funny. I was explaining this to my friend who's here starting a business, and there's something called I call it the 80-10-10 rule. So when you okay, let me explain something when it comes to review. And this is not me like protecting my business or anything. This is just like how humans work. When you go and eat food and you go to a great restaurant, the odds of you leaving a review not high. If you go to a restaurant and this food was shit, the waiter was an asshole, food was burnt, you're much higher likelihood of you leaving a review. Humans, so negativity just spreads 10 times faster than positivity. It's just how it goes. When you were in high school and someone donated to charity, nobody cared, right? That's just the reality of how people work. When someone got cheated on, that thing spread like crazy, right? So negativity just spreads 10 times faster than positivity. That's why the news, if you ever watch, especially like in New York City, if you ever watch the news, it's 95% negative because humans get like almost like a dopamine hit from negativity. It's just how it goes. In the news, they want as many eyeballs watching it as possible so they can sell advertising space and charge as much as possible. If they have more people watching their channel, they can charge more for ads, right? It's common sense, right? The world revolves around money. So going back to Major League profits, there's an 80-10-10 rule. So there's 10% of people that no matter what we tell them, they're going to be good. Like they just get it. They're going to go out of their way. They just get it. They're going to make money. They don't require a lot of coaching, just rock stars, right? There's the middle majority, 80% of people that kind of join the program and they're like, will this work? Will this not? They need good coaching. And that's where like a good program, good coaches come into play. Just like kind of like going to geometry class, right? Like 10% of people are going to get an A no matter what. That middle majority is, if you have a good teacher, going to get good results for them. Not a good teacher, bad results, right? And then there's the other 10% of people where it doesn't matter what you do, what you tell them. If you tell them to walk left, they're going to go right. If you tell them to buy football, they're going to buy baseball. Unfortunately, there's no help. There's just no help. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean they're dumb, stupid. Doesn't mean anything like that. They're just not coachable. That's just how some people are, and that's just how humans are. And those are the people that leave reviews. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that like 100% of people make money. I can give you the exact number. About 2.3% of people ask for a refund. So there you go. 2% of people that buy our program are pissed off enough to ask for a refund. Hopefully you guys seeing this, like, see sports cards works. Like, I do this thing for free. And people call in all the time with good results. Like, but it's just how humans work. Like, this isn't, and obviously I could always be better. Program could always be better, but there's just 10% of people. It just doesn't matter what you do. It's just, so hopefully you're not in that 10%. And if you are that 10%, don't buy the program because I don't want you in there. Because when people give money and then they don't have a good experience, bad reviews happen. So thought I'd comment on that. I think it's interesting how humans work. But yeah, that's the reality of it. Calling you back, PA. Don't worry.
Hey, Eric, this is Drew from South Jersey. I think we got disconnected.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Drew from South Jersey?
Not much. Figured I'd give you a call. I know you're not the biggest college basketball guy in the world, but got a big UConn game tonight.
Yeah, I think Michigan's gonna steamroll them.
Yeah, I know. I if UConn wins, that'll be my biggest gambling win of all time.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did hedge on Michigan. I got a nice 26-1 ticket on UConn, so hopefully
When
if
when
they
did you
win, it'll make.
when did you bet it?
Well, I bet mid-season I got them at 15-1, and then they made the Sweet 16, Eric. Now they're in the Sweet 16 and they're 26-1.
Wow.
So I rebet it at 26-1, and now obviously they got the miracle win against Duke, and now you got a chance. So I just hedged off my risk.
Wow, I would
took
have
a little profit.
I would have bought the ticket from you. You're a psychopath, double down like that. I thought I was the only one that does stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. You're not really supposed to in that situation, but with Coach Hurley and the success he's had previously, I did cash a lot of tickets with him winning the 2 previous national titles. So I had a little. He's done me a lot of help. Before,
Yeah, you
so
gotta pay respects to the people that have done you well, right?
Yeah, he's an amazing coach. I wish there was like a card or something you could buy of him. He could go down and be one of the best coaches of all time if they pull this off tonight.
Oh man, yeah, that would be crazy. I mean, it's one basketball game. You never know. What did you do when that kid Mullins hit that shot against Duke? Were you screaming?
Dude, I gave up on the game. Wasn't even watching. They were down so much. They were down 20, and I got kids and everything. So I'm like, getting busy with something else, and I check, and I tell my fiance, I'm like, what? How did UConn win? What the heck?
Wow.
Then I went back and watched it, and I was showing her, and it's crazy. I couldn't believe it. I mean, that's happened to me before. It's kind of like my juju thing is just turn it off.
Turn it off? Yeah,
turn it off.
I kind of do the same. I do the same thing when I'm losing a bet by a lot, but when I'm winning by a lot, I don't turn it off because
that's a little easier to stomach.
Yeah, I'm too scared. Except actually in football. In football, I'll keep it on till I'm down like 28 points because anything could happen in football. I see way too many comebacks. But yeah, basketball down 20. Yeah, I turn it off.
And speaking of that, in the NBA playoffs, down 20 means nothing. You can get live. You can get these guys at 10-1 plus.
Oh yeah,
and hit them in the NBA playoffs, guys. I'm not doing in gambling, but
we're not promoting gambling here, but live betting NBA playoffs is opportunistic. But how can I help?
Well, I wanted to report back. I've been going through and doing what you said and listening and trying to be a good student. Now I've got about 40 cards back from PSA in the last couple of weeks.
Nice.
And my gem percentage has gone up. I started probably sub 20% and then around 20%. Now I'm into 30%. Got some Cooper flags back. Now it looks like he's going to win the Rookie of the Year. So I did submit one for the blue X Fractor. I heard people are getting them back.
Yep.
My question, I guess, first you weren't really into basketball. Now I think you're a little more into basketball. I don't know. I'm still seeing a lot of excitement from all these young players in the NBA. It's just such a young league with Wemby and Ant-Man. And I just think the league is moving in a better direction than with like Wemby and LeBron. I'm just wondering if you're like a little, last time we talked, I don't know if you remember, but I've kind of been checking your vibes on the NBA.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm definitely NBA. The past few years has been kind of meh for buying cards, especially in the off season. But yeah, I already bought my first NBA card to hold. It was a oh man, who was it? Who's the kid on the Jazz? Ace Bailey. It was like an out of 5 Topps Chrome Red Basketball PSA 10 for $2,000. But yeah, it's a moneymaker now. They just needed young kids to be good, and we finally got them. So yeah, no, it's good.
All right, cool. I guess that was my main thing. I just wanted to say to you because it was like a couple times I called and said to you, and I just think you're like seeing how Con Canoopal and Cooper Flag. I mean, these guys are, even if they're bust, there's so many.
I'm just not a big fan of buying guys that are so high in value right now. But yeah, they're great players, and I'll buy their cards and flip them. If like it really needs to make sense. I'm more of a fan of buying like Ace Bailey or who's the other kid? Like VJ Edgecombe, more the second tier guys, because I think there's more opportunity for them to go up. That's just my
and we'll see opinion. With the con stuff. I submitted a ton of con stuff that are like $2 to $5 cards that they say are gonna, if they come back 10s, are worth like $200. I mean, you're talking like 100x.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Yeah, no, the opportunity is there now. Just needed good guys, and we got them.
All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna let you get to the next call. All right, thanks, Eric, and let's go UConn. Let's get one.
I'm rooting for you, man. I'm rooting for you.
Thanks, brother.
All right, Drew.
See ya.
All right, let's all root for Michigan because you know how betting goes. You root for one team, the other wins. So I need Drew to come back, and there's probably has a lot of money on the line there at 26-1.
Hello.
Hey, you have Eric. You're live.
Hey, Eric. Joe from Minnesota.
What's up, Joe from Minnesota? How can I help?
A quick question. I don't know if I'm going to be plugging you a little bit here, but I saw a video of you having a buying calculator.
That is correct.
That looks pretty kick-ass. How do you access that? Are you done with it, or do you got to be a part of the program, or just kind of inquiring about that?
Oh, you're not inside the program?
Not yet.
Yeah, it's proprietary, only inside the program. I'm usually very nice and give everything away for free, but that one I cannot because that costs. Usually, if it costs a lot of money for the company, I keep it inside the program, and that one required a decent bit of like developing and money to get really correct. So yeah, that one sadly is only inside the program.
Well, when I saw that might push me over the edge to join because I've been pretty successful with your free content.
Nice.
I know it's probably taken me a little bit more time to get over the hump versus being a part of the program, but your info has really helped me out. And, as far as buying raw and that whole thing, and I'm kind of pivoting a little bit because I've kind of got a little bit of a amount of money here because of that and because of your insight and all that stuff, and I kind of wanted to pivot to buying, and plus with PSA that whole time thing, it just seems to be getting worse and worse. I'm kind of pivoting to buying slabs.
Yep.
Is there any kind of like basic rules that you have when buying slabs, like 2 or 3 major points that you kind of look into when you do that?
Yes. So depending on the sport, I only buy for baseball, like I only buy Bowman Chrome. That's it.
Right.
Like true colors, orange, refractor, base, red, gold, etc. It's basketball and football get trickier because there's so many different variations. So inside of the program, I have a whole document that, like, once again, I'm sorry I can't give it out here, but I can explain to you what's inside of it. It's a whole like list of different thresholds. So like a card that's really good, right, is like a Topps Chrome, like orange out of 25, right? That's a really good card. And if I found one of Ace Bailey, I would pay close to 100% of comps. But a card that's maybe not as good, that's still good, but not as good, like a second tier variation, is like the one I just bought. It was an Ace Bailey Topps Chrome red out of 5 basketball refractor. The basketball refractor is good, but it's not great because it's not like a super premium great card and it's good, not great. I'm not willing to pay 100%. So that card's worth like $2,500. I paid $2,100, which is around 85%. So yeah, I have a whole like sequence or formula for that stuff. It just depends on the card you're buying and the player, and then the time of the year is obviously important, right? You want to make sure they're down in value, not up. So
for sure, and
yeah.
and the whole time frame for like raw cards and sending them into PSA is the same as far as selling them before the season and all that stuff.
Yes. Yes. So, well, yeah. So on this podcast, I keep it very basic, right? Because people are newer to cards. I keep it very, but like inside of the program, right? There's coaches. These coaches have they've been through the program. They're some of the most successful students ever. They work for us full time, and so in the academy, which is the first program, there's 3 coaching calls a week, and on these calls, they give you updated strategies. So, for example, some basketball guys we're starting to buy now, not in the off season. Like the standard rule is buy when the season ends, but some of these guys are already playing and we're buying them. So it's a player dependent thing. But I keep it simple on this podcast. Like, hey, we start buying in the off season.
For sure. Kind of like what you said, because I've been kind of buying. It was kind of nice to hear you say that you like Ace Bailey and VJ, because I've been kind of buying them up a little bit. Not putting all my eggs in one basket, of course, but I think those are two that are, that have good value.
Yep. And a good example of this is like what I'm talking about. If you go back to football, like Jaden Daniels, for example, he was at an all-time low, actually not in the offseason, towards the end of his season. So we were buying his cards in like week 17, week 18, because it was so low. And it was actually, there were factors and signs that are pointing to this was the lowest it was going to be. And his hype started to build actually like really towards the end of the season and the very beginning of the offseason. So there's like certain factors and things to look for. So you're getting the card at the cheapest possible point. There's a lot of variables, as you could tell.
No, for sure. No, I bought a Jaden Daniels Kaboom at around that time area. Now I'm kind of worried that am I going to get it back before the season?
Hey, you should. Is it a rookie?
Hopefully, yeah, it's a rookie. So we'll see.
What'd you pay on it out of curiosity?
Out of the Kaboom, I'd have to go and look to make sure. I mean, I got so many things going on here that I'd have to look at my spreadsheet and see exactly what I paid for it. I don't want to give you something that I don't want to estimate. But
yeah, I'm curious if I haven't looked. I'm curious if the Kabooms are up in
but
value.
I felt good about it. I know I felt good. I mean, I'm going to feel good about everything that I buy. But I can shoot you a text, once I look at my spreadsheet. I'm not in front of my computer right now.
Yeah. Let me know. I'm curious. Yeah, if you bought it right, like it's up like 25-30% from
right.
what I'm looking
I did
at.
the same thing. I can tell you right now, I did the same thing for I know you like color and stuff, but I bought Jaden Daniels silver for $550.
Wow. Yeah, you know what the last sale was?
On the 10. The last sale just recently, I think it was close to 800 right now.
950.
Is it 950 now?
Yeah, 950. Wow, you might triple your money or come close to it on that card.
Possibly, yeah. Jaden's a big one, and I like CJ Stroud, and Penix is a little worrisome now. I got a couple of his, but I'm afraid that he may turn into another JJ. But I don't know. We'll see, because he just got hurt, I think.
Yeah, he's. I don't think Penix will be good, but I have some of his cards to sell. When the time's right.
For sure. Well, and then my last question is, like, with slabs, of course you're going to get lucky and you may make more, or you may even, lose from time to time. But is your wheelhouse with slabs like 10 to 20%?
So the minimum I want to make is 20%. But if you do it right, that's really a minimum. Like, as you see, like, you could make 40-50% pretty frequently.
For sure. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time.
All right.
And if I'm interested in getting involved, do I just call you or email, or how do I?
I could have a coach. I'll have a coach. Are you free after this? I'll have a coach call you.
Maybe for about 10-15 minutes after this.
Yeah, that's all. That's all
it takes.
Yeah, that's all. It's like 5 minutes. That's all you need.
Okay. Cool. I appreciate you, man.
All right, Joe. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right, later. And we go on, we remember all the times we had together.
Hello, Sam.
Hey, Sam, this is Eric. You're live.
Oh, that's cool. What's up, man? I've got a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
I'm one of those guys that used to sell a bunch of $1 cards by bulk and then package up 50 cards every morning, but I've kind of transitioned into the whole grading, following your strategy stuff.
Cool.
I wanted to walk before I run, get a taste of it, and then check out the whole program. But I guess my biggest question is, I've been grading through GameStop, save $10 per card, but it's a bulk order.
Okay.
Would I be more beneficial to do it on my own for the $34 rather than $24 value? Get it back a month sooner.
They give you that much of a discount?
Yeah, it's $10.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
Yeah, I could. That is a lot, actually. But I could speak for people, or like I've taught this to thousands of people, and 90% of them do everything themselves in terms of grading. The only a lot of them, what they'll do is just the bulk stuff, like the $10, the $20, the $5. They'll just drop off at GameStop or use consignment to just send it off for grading because it takes too long. But if you're buying cards over like $7,500, I've seen personally most people doing it themselves. Do it themselves.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. 90% of what I've been sending is that $50 to $100 cards. It's nothing crazy, but
yeah.
I'm sitting on 6 submissions just sitting there. It's been since February, so I don't know if I should be getting these back faster to get the money so I can get more cards, or where I'm at there.
Mm-hmm.
But next question: PSA membership. Do you think that's worth getting into, or is it a card ladder just more important without?
No, you should get the PSA membership. I think that gives you access to the bulk grading. So if you send in 20 cards, you get like a $5 discount. It pays for itself. It's worth it.
Okay. And they send out coupons or whatnot?
Yeah, I don't know what that stuff is, but just I would get it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And then last question. Like I said, I've got 6 submissions sitting over there. I'm going to get all these back hopefully around the same time. When would you say there's enough value to set up at a card show with your own booth, having all your cards in front of you? How many cards or what estimated value would you say you would have to justify that?
Well, are you traveling to the card show, or is there a local small one?
So I'm in Minnesota here, so we got a few a year. It would be probably a 3-hour drive. Nothing crazy.
How many tables is at the card show?
That's a good question. I guess I wouldn't know that.
So a small local one, if you have like $1,000 in inventory, that should be fine. If you're traveling or going to a big show, setting up for the table and driving, hotel, this, that, it's going to run you like I could speak for flying, right? Flying, a few $100s for a plane ticket, another few $100s for the table, a few $100s for hotel, food. So you're out the door like probably $1,200 to $1,500 at least if you make it cheap. And in order to profit, yeah, I look at it like if I'm gonna, at least when I was like really grinding cards back in the day, and like it was my sole source of income, I wanted to at least walk out of there at least with like $1,500 in profit on top of everything. So in order to make that work, if I had to throw a number on it, I would say you would want at least $5K, $6K in inventory and another $5, $6K in cash to go to a big show, because you'll get a lot like that Wembanyama that's in my hand right now. It cost me $4K. If I didn't have that cash for me, I wouldn't be able to buy it, and it's going to make me, probably 10 to 12 grand in profit, and that's just one show. And that was actually one day at one show. So certain buys could change the whole trajectory of a show. So that's kind of the numbers I would throw on it.
Okay. No, that's good information. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, perfect, man. That's all I got. I'll keep it simple.
Cool, man. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. I think that's it, ladies and gents. I'm sorry we have people in the queue, but your boys got to go. I apologize for being late, but that's why I'm going to do this again tomorrow on Tuesday. We do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. We go live, so feel free to join. Usually we're not late. Once in a blue moon, we're late, and I was late today, and I apologize for that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Thank you for listening.